Here I am, 5 o'clock, as promised. Happy Friday, everybody. Doing it sideways now. I'll talk to you for a minute, let some people get in here. Last week, as I was doing the video, the Wi-Fi dropped out and it cut the video off. If that happens today, I'm going to go and pick up where I left off best I can. So just look above the video you're watching, and I'll come back in, but hopefully it won't cut off today. Here we are, another Friday that doesn't really feel like a Friday because you can't do nothing on the weekend. But I don't know, I think they're starting to let up a little bit on some of this stuff. Let's see, I'm talking to you from my desk today. See some good stuff there in the back. See that Aerosmith from the 70s, a Kiss from the 70s, Pam Grier. Let's see, I'll turn this thing around and show you some things before we get into talking history and stuff again. Let's see, there's a gorilla on my door. There's Elvis. Huel Perez. Let's see. These were the Elvis stamps that came out a long time ago. And there was the card where you voted for which one you wanted it to be. I wanted it to be B. You know how they go. Autograph picture of Mick Foley. He's the ear off. It says Jeff tried doing this on stage. That's okay. Autograph picture of the Money Man. Some Yeti and Bigfoot Christmas ornaments. Clock from Mr. Andy Gore, Slitsy the Pinhead. Here's something really good. Autograph picture of Dr. Ralph Stanley. Got that seeing him live in Lenore. You know, Rat Fink, you know, Kiss, picture of Cher over there. That's probably of no shock to you. Ape, no shock to you, I'm sure. Bunch of buttons. Mego figures. Apes. Look at there, that's a straight to hell. Action figures, Ed Gein and Zodiac. The guy makes all kinds of really crazy stuff. I try to give him a few plugs when I can. Word of warning though, don't go to his page or site or anything like that if you're sensitive, because you will find something on there that'll make you cry. So just don't go on there if that's the case. Let's see, got me some water, some throat spray, which I need. My voice sounds like shit today. It's from not getting any sleep and from pollen all over the place. Let's see. I'm trying to think of where I left off Tuesday. I think we left off with Dale Duncan leaving the band and getting Marlon Cherry in. Just before that happened, you remember about the little love triangle I told you we had going on with Teresa, oh shit, what's her name? With this girl, and Bill and Brad, and I told you that it was a mistake on Brad's part, and then eventually it would lead to him being excused. And we had a one of those storage shed practice facilities over off of Tryon Street in Charlotte, and we had one of those double rooms, and we were paying every month, for that, for us to practice in. And it turns out this girl and Brad they were kind of making it their apartment, their little apartment away from their homes. And so, we're paying our hard-earned money for this practice place, and we're making a love nest for these two. And you could just tell that his interest was waning, and he wasn't trying. We'd already recorded Honor Among Thieves, but it was with the label Bonafide, but it had not come out yet. It would be a while before it came out. So I guess he kind of felt like we were kind of being stagnant. And what's the thing that makes ANTiSEEN get in gear and get stuff done more than just about anything? For someone to quit or get shit canned. That's the thing that'll do it. It almost became like we were having to talk to the girlfriend to get answers from Brad. And one day, me and Joe discussed it, and we're just like, look, man, this has got to change. And Joe called him up one day and says, hey, Brad, basically, here's what we need to talk to you about. We really like you being in the band, but we don't like your girlfriend being in the band. And his answer to that was, well, man, I'll have to give it some thought. We gave it all the thought it needed, and he was replaced very quickly with a Rock Hill boy named Doug Throgmorton. And I'm telling you, the going from Mitch to Brad and then to Doug was one of the biggest leaps in quality that you could ever imagine. We'd never seen no one that could play like Doug Throgmorton. And in his prime, he was. And I'm gonna tell you, we've had other drummers, and two of my favorite drummers for ANTiSEEN are my brother Greg Clayton and Sir Barry Hannibal, and both of those guys will tell you what a monster Throgmorton was in his prime, and to get him was amazing to us. And since we'd had Dale Duncan playing bass, and as great as he was, we're not going to take a step backwards in that department. So Marlon Cherry, we call him Pete Cherry, but his name is Marlon Cherry. He was in the streets as well, and he joined. So, like I told you, that is the kick in the ass that we need right there. When we feel like we're someone's trying to put our foot on us, yeah, we'll wiggle out and we'll get some shit going then, and so we very quickly started writing for what would be EP royalty, and the I guess a centerpiece of that whole record would be the song NC Royalty. About the only dive into politics we ever kind of consciously took, because it was something that was really affecting us at that moment. And a uber conservative group called the Concerned Charlatans, led by a preacher named Joe Chambers, were getting national attention. Rolling Stone, some of the news shows, they were trying to get a obscenity law passed in the state of North Carolina, and their criteria for their law was so vague and so widespread that tons of things fell under the umbrella of like a medical textbook would fall under that umbrella as being obscene. That's what it shows. And it's like, you love the reissue, and I'm glad you brought up that reissue, because the Concerned Charlatans sent out a pamphlet to all the adult bookstore managers, and anyone, I guess maybe even the strip clubs and stuff like that, and we reprinted that little manifesto of theirs in the newest reissue of EP Royalty Expanded, and when you read it, I mean, it's it blows your mind. But it was real. I mean, it was a real thing going on, and things that were considered obscene, full frontal nudity, any display or showing homosexuality, interracial, was considered obscene. And all of a sudden, I'm a guy working in an adult bookstore. I'm a clerk, I'm just a guy that rings up magazines and gives guys tokens for the jerk booths. And all of a sudden, my job would be a felony. Now, I can tell you some of the craziest stories about working in the Joy Adult Bookstore. I worked the third shift. The manager of the place was a fellow named Rick Wilds. Rick died a few years back of AIDS, and I was reading one of the obituaries that were printed for him online one day. I looked up his name, and it was attached, to this, and he was quite a pioneer in gay rights and stuff here in Charlotte. He was a really good guy, and working for him was like working for I don't know, like Speedy Gonzales with guns going off or something. I mean, it was always an adventure. And when I went and applied for the job, he says, well, I can put you on third shift. And I was fine with third shift at 21 years old, 22, 3 years old. He says, but I'm gonna warn you, you're going to come in contact with every degenerate that this city has to offer. Now, at the time, I didn't quite know what he meant, but I'm going to tell you, it didn't take long to figure that one out. And I could go all day talking about stories from the bookstore. I'll give you a little bit, but I need to keep going with the band stuff. Whenever we're on road trips and we're telling stories and stuff, and I've told these before. Band members, past and present, have all said, "Man, you gotta get all this into a book somehow." But I don't know how much of it I remember accurately. But I mean, man, it's like I'm trying not to get too racy on here with it. But I mean, like there's one night where I don't know if any of you know what a chicken hawk is, but guys out in the parking lot, the cars had flashed their headlights, and this kid would go and service these guys, and one night something went really wrong, and the guy was he came into the store, and he was acting a little weird, but not too. But then this big guy comes in the store, slams the door, and locks it, and pulls a gun on this guy. And he was gonna kill him. I really think he was gonna. We wanted to kill him, but everybody runs to the back, and all that's left up there is the guy with the gun on him, and me at the counter. And the guy with the gun on him is talking shit to this guy. "You think you're so big with that gun? What you gonna do with that?" Blah, blah. And for some reason, he looks at me, and I just go, "Man, shut up." And he goes, "Okay." I'm like, he seemed afraid of me, but not afraid of the guy with the gun. I'm just like, "Oh, man, what the fuck?" And the guy with the gun, I knew him from coming in quite a bit, and he's just like, "Jeff, call the police." And I'm just like, "Okay." Call the police. Turns out this guy stole something out of his car, and man, everybody was shook up. But man, it was like every weekend was something like that. So I could talk about that all night. But I don't want to get too graphic. Yeah, ANTiSEEN, that's the word I was looking for, graphic. But anyway, the law passes, and we're hearing about bookstores getting busted left and right. And I remember, I don't remember what day of the week it was, but it was during the day. I was off that night, and I was thinking, man, I sure would like to have a little advance on my paycheck. And Rick was really cool. If you ask him, for $60 a head on your paycheck, he had no problem giving it to you. And I was going up there to do that, and we had talked maybe a couple nights before about what happens if the store gets busted. And he goes, "If we get busted, we will have to say you don't work here," because he said the ownership of the store would pay for his legal fees, but probably not any of ours. And this was something that you would spend a lot of time in court, and 20-something-year-old man, I didn't have no money to fight no felony case. So I'm going up to the store in the daytime, and I'm like, I asked Rick for the advance, and he's reaching into the safe we had under the stool there at the chair on the counter, and he's reaching in to pull the money part out, and the door is kicked open, and there's 7 lady cops. And I just leaned down toward him, and I said, "Rick, I quit." He goes, "I understand." And he said, "Before you go, lock up, and if you would, please call my husband and tell him what's going on." And we're just like, "Yeah, man, we'll take care of it." And they put him in handcuffs and took him away. And that afternoon, that was the end of my career as a clerk at Joy Adult Bookstore. There was a time, you're talking about bands making sacrifices and stuff. Man, there was a point where me and Dana Ace Davis, before he got the axe, it came time for us, we had to save money for the studio to record Honor Among Thieves. And man, we're just like, this whole rent business is getting in our way, of getting some money together. And we talked to Rick. Ace worked there as well. He worked the second shift. But we talked to Rick about, like, there's storage rooms back there behind the peep shows. And we come up with a great idea. Hey, man, can we live in the storage room? Dana had one that was just basically right on Independence Boulevard. And I had one that was facing this little alley that went between the bookstore and another building. And to get to my room, I would have to go through the peep shows, squat down so that my head wouldn't be in front of the film projectors, and these dudes be interrupted, and then go into my room, make sure the lights were off and stuff. But you're laying there at night, and all you hear is film projectors all night long. Click, 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 click. I mean, there must have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There must have been 6 or 7 in that row that my room was on. So it was film projectors all night long. But anyway, so we decided to live in the bookstore. Luckily, a few months before all this this Fed action took place, we had found an apartment, and so yeah, it was scrambled to get another job really quick. I have to think about what I did next. I mean, I really kind of came into this unprepared today, but let me see if I can get back to what the band was doing at this point. So we go back to audio at some point, and we record EP Royalty. And well, we were real happy with this one. We felt our songwriting was getting better, and we were able to articulate what we wanted to do and make it happen. And but Honor Among Thieves was still in limbo, so this was going to have to be another thing that we put out ourselves. And I see Will ask, what was Joe doing at the time? Joe was working at the Winn-Dixie warehouse, unloading trucks. It was hard work, man. I worked at the RPS warehouse for a while, 3 years, and that is back-breaking work. And he was working at a grocery store, Winn-Dixie warehouse. Bad work. That's how Joe eventually messed his back up. A problem that followed him all through his life. Sometimes his back would go out and we'd be on the road, man. He just had to sleep on the floor of the whatever vehicle we were in, or sleep on the floor of the hotel rooms. The harder the floor, the better it was for him. But so it comes time to do EP Royalty. This time we figured, well, we're not going to do 1,000 because we learned something by doing drastic. And that is that if you do a lower pressing, when you go to do a repress, if you need it, it was cheaper. So we did 500, and the first 500 we did came in the what's known now as the pale orange sleeve. And there's another one of those deals where we had to cut them all out by hand, score the folds, fold them, put the double-sided tape on, and then fold them over and put them together. Except this time, we had just played a show at one of the, I guess it would have been when we played the Church of Musical Awareness, the little club we were booking with Bill Flowers across the. By this time we had gotten back in good with Bill, and now instead of boycotting him, we were booking an alternate club he had across the street from the Milestone. It was a church, like a real church, but it was just a cinder block building. That's the infamous place where Gigi came to town and played. I'm saying, getting ahead of myself a little bit. A bunch of the kids that were at the show one night came back over to Joe and I's apartment. I think we were living together at this point, and man, we had like all these kids in the apartment help, like doing an assembly line. Some were folding, some were cutting, some were stuffing records, and we went through that first pressing pretty fast of 500. I was surprised at how fast, and so it came time to get some more, and this is where the different colored covers come in. Matter of fact, I found something the other day, but if I can find in this disaster of a room, I'll show it to you. Let me see. I'll try to keep talking. There it is right there. The guy that printed these covers for us, he was really doing us a favor and giving us a good deal on them. And his name was, I don't remember what the printer's name was, but the guy, Minuteman Printers. And the guy's name was Sean. And we say, Sean, man, we're going to get 300 more of our records, so we're going to need 300 more covers. He's like, well, here's what I can do for you. I've got like a couple jobs using that same grade of paper that you want to use, but it's going to be some different colors. And he goes, I can give you what's left off those jobs and really give you a good deal. So we're just like, yeah, man, that's fine. We didn't care. So there was a dark orange, but he only gave us a certain amount of those, and the rest of them were like a bluish green and white. And right here in my hands, some of the unfolded, they were cut out, but he didn't sit there and count how many he was doing. See, I got some the blue green, I got some white, I got quite a bit of them. Let's see there. Anybody's interested in one, hit me up. I don't plan on keeping these things forever, but yeah, completely unused. I'll mail it flat too. I'll mail it flat, or I'll roll it or something, but I won't fold it up, so it'll be completely unused. But so that's where the the difference in the covers came in. It wasn't really a thing that we set out to do on purpose. It just kind of happened that way, and found out later that really benefits you in the long run when you do some slightly different things. There are people that want to get them all, and when there's fewer versions of something, it becomes a lot more desirable in the collector's market. But anyway, what do you mean it's already been forever, Bloody Randy? Forever what? But when's our next Charlotte gig? Hey man, you know what? Your guess is as good as mine. we had some things worked out for later this year. The only thing that I know that we're doing is Muddy Roots, and as of today, that has not been canceled or postponed. So, and that's in September, I guess, 1st September. And I'm not going to put any effort into booking anything until all this mess that we're in right now is squared away. Let's see, how often were we playing shows with the Streets through 85? You know, we didn't, I don't know that we really played with the Streets that much. I know we played with, and I can't really remember a time that there was an ANTiSEEN and Street show. That actually came more when Scott had done Adam Shame. You know, we covered the Adam Shame song. But yeah, Brandon, we're going to do Rule Breakers Ball 2 in San Antonio this year. We were kind of up in the air about that. Yeah, Shane, I see your message. I'll get back. I'll get to you after I'm done here. So yeah, EP Royalty was out. Still no Honor Among Thieves. And but now we got another problem, and that is that Pete Cherry enjoyed the book release. Did we enjoy reuniting with Marlon at the book release show? Yes, man, that was really great. And so now our problem is Pete's getting ready to move to New York. So we're out of a bass player again. We have no idea what we're going to do at this point. You know, I told you we like to keep stuff tight and close. But we were kind of running out of options now. But then there was one of our little brother bands that was around Charlotte at the time, the Rabid Salesman. And what connection do we have to them? Well, I'll tell you. Mike Pilmer, who was the lead singer and the mastermind behind the Rabid Salesman, he, to this very day, does our website. So see, I tell you, once we get that circle, man, we stay pretty close and pretty tight. And but their bass player was Dina Williams, and I had known Dina for years. And so, you know, we didn't tour per se. We just played a bunch of one-off shows. So it wasn't like you know, our schedule kept anyone from doing anything else they needed to do. Yes, the Rabid Salesmen were great. They put out a 12-inch, and if you can find that, pick it up. It's really good. You know, good, funny punk. You know, Pilmer's a funny guy, and this stuff was really good. It was always fun to play with him. I asked him about playing with us recently. He's going to do like a reunion with them, and now he's getting kind of, I don't know if we should play with you guys. What, you scared to play in front of a crowd with a bunch of old people? But anyway, Dina volunteered. But you know what? No, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm still on track. No, I did get ahead of myself. After Marlon left, we got a fella named Lee Howard who had played with some of the bands around, and Lee, I think Lee only played 2 shows with us, and then you know he had other stuff going on. it wasn't a messy split. I mean, I've been in touch with Lee over the years. I think he's somewhere around D.C., Maryland. But yeah, we're cool. But then Dina took over, and we had a few shows, and then I get the most shocking news ever, and that is that Joe is moving to Atlanta. Oh yeah. So how's that work out? Well, that's what I'll talk about on Tuesday, how that worked out. In the meantime, I will tell you that while we were the lineup of me, Joe, Doug Throgmorton, and Dina, I will tell you that we did what is the stupidest gimmick I've ever done. Ever. We were playing a National Guard Armory up around Hickory. Maybe it was in Newton. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was in Newton, National Guard Armory in Newton. And we're still in the flea market Alice Cooper show at this point. Now we got funeral flowers all over the stage, and we're wearing like weird hats. I had the pilgrim hat, and oh, there's my wife. She's coming in here now. Oh my God, she just flashed me right here on live. I see it. You don't get to, but
it's because I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. But we were still doing the crazy stage show, and this right here may have been the last straw and the last time we ever went that route. I'm pretty sure it was. We did all kind of shit. Dina was wearing a damn strap-on outside of her jeans, and it ended up on top of Joe's head at some point, and it was a nutty show. And then at the very end, I decided it's a good idea to dump an entire bag of flour over myself. Well, it was funny enough for a few seconds until somebody took a bucket of water. This is some girl Joe was with, the girl he moved to Atlanta with, by the way, and doused me with water. Now, do you know what happens when water and flour mix? It turns to paste. So my hair is nothing but paste. What little beard I had at the time, it was paste. My clothes were drying and cracking, and my boots were nothing but like paper mache. And the entire stage was a layer of paste. And man, those people, when we left there, I don't know if we got paid. I wouldn't have paid us. I'd have told us to get the fuck on down the road. But man, those people were there with the scrapers scraping that shit off, and they were pissed. And man, I don't blame them. I know young bands do stupid stuff like that. I mean, we did. There you go, the stupidest fucking thing ever. We did it. And I know they think it's all funny and stuff, but and when I see bands do it now, I just kind of go, oh, well, whatever. We did it. But, yeah. So, where I'm at now, Joe's moving to Atlanta. did I ever hold back from not doing something on stage and regret it later? Oh yeah, there's tons of times when someone should have got the shit knocked out of them and we didn't and regretted it. But I don't know. Yeah, we were always burning stuff, like catching curtains on fire and pieces of ceiling. And I was surprised that Great White business, that type of thing didn't happen to us sooner. But people would always say too, man, that one day your luck is going to run out, you know, and you're either gonna mess yourself up or mess somebody else up with all that fire. And luckily, it never happened. But yeah, but go ahead and ask a few questions. I'm gonna wrap up history right now, but I'll answer some questions. Go ahead and shoot them out. I know one person wanted to know the story about the time that I kicked the yes, fire. I kicked the guy on stage, and it was a cop. This was at Jeremiah's, and man, it was one of those shows where it was just reaching, you know, fever pitch. You know, the crowd's into it, we're into it, you know, and you know, usually by the time we'd get to that point, and I've bled, man, I've got blood in my eyes, I can't see. Yeah, pyrotechnics. And we had pyrotechnics and barbed wire all over the stage. And man, this guy got on stage and he looked like the Incredible Hulk, but he wasn't green. He was, you know, a regular Caucasian color. And he's on stage, man, and he's like taking, it looks like he's going to take a bottle and cut his head. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy looks like Lou Ferrigno. His shirt's off. He's doing the whole, roar. And you guys that play, you'll know what I'm talking about. When there's a certain point where you just get this adrenaline rush and common sense just goes out the window. Oh man, I ran and I just kind of like jumped, kicked this guy off the stage, and he went flying off the stage head first. There's a picture of him, of me kind of trying to coax him off, and then I kind of sized up the situation and realized I got some space, and I wouldn't have done that, been of my right mind. But after the show, man, he didn't get hurt, and he was cool. And they said they were a couple cops off duty just come to watch the show. I'm getting into it, and I saw a couple other questions. I don't know if I can make these good. Yeah, I can. Did the Hetfield pyro accident ever bother us? I mean, you know, I guess I felt sorry for the guy. He got fucked up pretty good, but we never had nothing like that happen to us. No, I've not told the Danzig story yet. Stories of Wat Tyler. Man, Wat Tyler was one of the coolest bands ever. They were funny as hell. They were funny on stage and off. Man, we got along with them great. After, I mean, you know, we had sent messages to one another before, but we kind of lost touch with them after that. But I mean, yes, they were great. Those were some shows that we all thought a lot of. Worst performance related injury. Oh man, a couple of those times I hit some gushers, man, and I was, you know, and I've passed out from losing too much blood too fast. The worst that ever happened to me, though, man, in the early days, you know, talking about doing stupid stuff, I used to do this bit where I just jump in the air and just land on my knees. And at the time, I'm just like, it don't hurt, you know, but it hurts now. My knees are screwed up bad from that kind of horse shit. But I try not to mess with the camera. see. The first wrestling song. The first wrestling song was Cactus Jack. I saw you pop that guy in the forehead. Oh, fuck. I saw you pop that guy in the forehead. Oh, yeah, man. He's taking exception to my wife vaping, I guess, and acted like he was going to put an elbow in the back of her head, and I did a Spider-Man thing where I did the microphone, like, you know, held on to the cord, and it gave him a raspberry right there. But, man, one of the worst times I think anyone ever got hurt at one of our shows was Euclid Tavern in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, we were touring with some band from Champaign. I cannot remember their name, but we were playing with God in Texas, and that real famous Frank Kozik poster of the hillbilly wolf in the shotgun marriage with the pig is one. Matter of fact, it's that show. It's that show. A bunch of kids did that whole thing where they lock arms and come up to the stage, and man, they hit the mic stand. It popped me right in the mouth, and man, I was pissed. And I just dropped the washboard, took the mic out, and I took the mic stand and threw it at them like a javelin or a spear or something. It went right over them. It hit this other dude, this completely innocent guy, just right square in the face like that. And man, I felt bad about that. And there was blood everywhere, but the guy was gone. And I'm just like, well, fuck. You know, he's probably going to call the cops. And I guess either we need to get out of here or wait around and see what happens. But man, that didn't happen. And you know, over the years, I have had him send messages to us with some of his friends that he knew were coming to see us, and saying, you know, saying he says hi, and I think he wears that as a badge of honor, man. It popped him good too. It's on video. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not. Me and Malcolm were talking. Malcolm's going to transfer a lot of this stuff we've got on 8mm, and we'll get it on YouTube. We're gonna really revamp our YouTube page once this gets going, and you know, get some traffic on there. We'll have some stuff that we'll play on the ANTiSEEN page first, you know, exclusively for all you guys. And I really want to see that. Man, I don't think I have seen that video of us with Rocky Erickson taking him to his mom's house since we did it. So I think that'll be pretty amazing to see. And any more questions real quick? Let me scroll back down to the bottom and see if anybody's asked any. So, Art, you were at that show, huh? That Euclid Tavern show. Oh, okay. That was the first one you saw. What a show to see. And I beat up a Krusty with his own skateboard in Los Angeles. Goodness gracious. Man. Some of the stuff, man, I don't remember it till you guys bring it up. But, real quick, any more questions? Because I'm getting ready to bail on out, you. You need to tell me something. Well, I hope everybody is doing okay. I hope everyone's not losing their mind and being patient. Me telling everybody I hope they're being patient. Yeah, maybe some of you out there should stop being some internet tough guys. You know, everybody's got different opinions about how things should go. Is the pilgrim hat for sale? Yeah, it's for sale. I sold it to my brother. He bought it from me. It's his now. So you'd have to ask him. And you said you asked about Denver. What did you ask about Denver? You type that out again real quick. Come tour Arkansas. Yeah, we'll play Arkansas. You is or you ain't. I don't know. How many ground zero soundmen? Only one. How many ground zero soundmen have I almost killed? Yeah, only one. God damn. Not the only sound man, the only ground zero sound man. Can't wait to see us in Philly. Man, we love playing Philadelphia. Philadelphia was always kind of like our home away from home. That and Austin, Texas. But Austin, Texas, not so much anymore. It's gotten so PC and clubs closing down and everything. And now I guess our home away from home in Texas is San Antonio. Will we ever come back to the UK? Oh, man, I sure hope so. We want to. Yeah. Let's see what else we got up in here. Bad experience in Colorado? No, we had good experiences in Colorado. Played the Three Kings. Come back to the pits, man. You know, if we're in Europe, we're going to play the pits, man. The pits in Belgium, our favorite place to play on earth. Yeah. The pits. Well, thank you, Tricia. We will be back. Don't worry, folks. We're going to be back. And hopefully sooner than later. Let's see, the other day you were showing off figures. Was that an Ox Baker? Yeah, I got an Ox Baker over there. Have you ever stepped foot in Canada? Yes, we played Vancouver when we were on tour with Blowfly. And Brian, you asked about Bill. Yeah, I went over that with Bill. Man, you got to go back and watch these. You don't catch them live, but they're still on there. You can play them later. I got to play them later sometime so I can remember what the hell we talked about. What's for supper tonight? Chinese food. Well, can I say that? Chinese food? Egg rolls? Yeah. But, hey, Devin, you just tuned in as I'm about to tune out. Well, everybody, thanks for coming around, and thanks for, wanting me to keep this going, helping me keep it going, your interest in it. And once again, if anyone's interested in owning one of these unused EP royalty covers, get in touch with me. We'll come to some kind of agreement. I'll mail it out to you flat or rolled. I have the bluish green and white. That's all I have left. But I got a bunch of both of those. So, all right. Well, everybody, take care. Thank you, and keep me, Malcolm, and Russ are trying to keep the ANTiSEEN page loaded with stuff for you to look at and read and listen to and stuff like that. I imagine Malcolm's going to do one of these type things here in a couple days, so be on the lookout for that. But you guys take care, and we'll see you Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.